Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, and today we're going to do a stitch with me. Now today I'm going to be working on my supersized tiger family of the jungle. If you're new to my channel, then this is one of the big pieces that I am working on. Obviously, if you're a returning viewer, you'll have seen this one before, and I'm working on the toucan's beak. So I'm going to be working on this section here. Now I'm going to work on this section here for the stitch with me because it's easier than trying to work up the top with the diagonals from how I'm having to put my camera. So I know I said I was going to work on the next page across, but I'm going to do it on this one for this time. So everyone get settled, grab your stitching, grab a drink, and let's get to this. Now hopefully this one will be a lot longer than the last one, since the last one was only a trial run, if you like. So let's get to this. So as you can see, I've got a lot of threads parked here, so I'm just going to start working in these parked threads so that you can see those getting done. Now obviously in the last stitch with me, I didn't do much talking. It was mainly just music because I was just trialing it. So hopefully this time we'll get a bit of talking done in there as well. So don't ask me what I'm going to talk about. I'm not sure, but we'll talk about something. So what I'll do is I'll go through and tell you a bit about myself and what it was like for me growing up. So I was originally born, sorry you can't see that, so I was born in the UK in a town called Doncaster, where I lived there most of my life up until last year when I decided to move, 2018, forgot we're in 2019 now, up until when I decided to move over to Australia. So growing up, I grew up on a council property, well, council estate, so we never had much money. In fact, we never had any money. So I wasn't one of these kids who had to have all the new stuff that came out. It was a case of I got it as if we had the money. 9 out of 10, most of my stuff was hand-me-downs. So it came from my relatives, or if my elder brother had grown out of any of his clothes, for example, me and my twin brother would get the hand-me-downs for that one. So going through school, used to enjoy school. I wasn't one of these kids who was always skipping school to go and do whatever on the streets. I used to enjoy school, so I was there all the time. Used to love doing maths. Maths was my main thing, and also home economics. So I used to love cooking. So I decided that when I left school, I would like to be a chef. So that's what I did. I completed all my schooling, then went to catering college. Now it was not just catering, it was, they called it hotel hospitality and catering. So basically it was learning how to be a waiter and run a restaurant, as well as doing the kitchen work as well. So I was at college for 2 years, and I passed all that, and then left college and started working in a restaurant. Well, restaurant. And used to do a bit of waitering, and then I would also do kitchen work as well, which I used to really enjoy. I mean, I used to be the main breakfast chef at the first hotel I was working at. So I would do the morning shift, and then 9 out of 10 I would have to come back and do the afternoon shift or the evening shift. So I really enjoyed it, apart from the summertime when it was really, really hot. And obviously working in the kitchen in the summertime, you've got the heat from outside and then the heat from inside from all your stoves and fryers, and it was challenging sometimes, especially when you had weddings, because obviously in weddings you're going to be cooking for a lot of people. So it needs to get even really hotter there. Anyway, I did that for a couple of years and then decided that it wasn't for me. I didn't mind doing the work itself. The thing I didn't like was the split shifts, which come a lot with hospitality work. So you would do, say, one shift starting at 10 o'clock and finishing at 2, and then you would have to be back like 3 hours later for the night shift, starting at 5 and finishing at 10. So then by the time you got home, it was like 11 o'clock. And go to bed and get up and start all over again. So I decided I wanted a career change. But until I could figure out what I wanted to do, I went and worked for a car insurance company. So this was only just going to be for a couple of months until I decided what I wanted to do. And that couple of months ended up being 8 years, as you do. And then towards the end of my time with that, I decided I've always liked maths and numbers, so I decided I wanted to do accountancy. So I enrolled at college to do accountancy again, and I was really enjoying it. Completed my first year. I started my second year, and then I was halfway through the second year, and then that's when I got diagnosed with the brain tumor. So I had to drop out of college because they said the time I would need off, I would not be able to catch up on the work again. So I had to drop out. My intention was, after everything was over and done with, that I would go back to college, and that never happened. So from there, I then went to work for BMW, doing what they call PDI work. Now, PDI work is where you get your new car come through and you have to put all the number plates on it, make sure the tyre pressures are all right, top up any fluids, and then get the car all ready, valeted, and all the paperwork filled out, ready for the customers. Sorry about that, guys. Got a message, so... Right, so I'm not going to go through ending all my threads and that as I'm going along with you today. I'm just going to leave those hanging and stitch those in a moment. Well, tie those off in a moment. I'll just mark off my chart what I've just done. So right, where was I? So yeah, so I had to drop out of college, which I was pretty gutted about. I was hoping I would be able to carry on doing my work, but that wasn't the thing. So after working at BMW, again, that one was just a temporary stop. Worked there for 6 years, so I'm not very good at this temporary job malarkey. So that was 6 years worth of work there. After that 6 years was when they decided they were going to move their business. So from where we were, they were moving it down to the docks where the cars actually came in. Now, they did want me to go and work on the docks because I was like a team leader. But to get to the docks, it was an hour's drive each way. And they were willing to pay me for travelling an extra £10 a week, which it would have cost a lot more than that for the fuel. So I declined. So from there, I then went to work for a telecommunications place over in the UK, which dealt with internet, phone, TV. So I went to work there, and that's where I worked until I moved over to Australia. Hated every single minute of it, but I was only there to get the money so that I could move over here. Then got over here, I'm thinking, no, it won't be too bad. I'll get a job no problem with all my qualifications. Obviously, I've done catering work, I've done hospitality work, I've worked in call centres. Yeah, didn't quite work like that over here, because obviously you've got to put your references down, and most of the companies over in Australia don't like to contact companies in the UK to get references. So needless to say, I got here in November. It took me till May to get a job. By this time I was going absolutely stir crazy, as you can imagine. So that's when I mainly started picking up cross stitching and doing it a lot more than what I used to before. So I got my first job over here working in a petrol station, working the night shift. Now the night shift was absolutely horrible. I wouldn't start work till midnight and then finish at 6 o'clock in the morning. To be fair, it wasn't that bad. It was quiet. You didn't have a lot of people around until like the early hours in the morning when all your like trade people were going to work, and then you'd have people to actually talk to. So trying to find things to do for near on 5 hours as your shift. There's only so much cleaning you can do. I think they must have had the most immaculate toilets going by the time I finished. And then I was only there for maybe 2 months, and I got the option of going to work full-time at my current job, which is working in a timber yard. So I've been there over a year so far. It's not the greatest of jobs, but it pays, so that's the main thing. Pays the bills. So what I would like to do eventually is get back into doing my accountancy. Now obviously how they do things over in Australia is completely different to how they do things in the UK. So it would mean having to start the accountancy again all from scratch, which I'm sure won't be too hard. So we will see on that one. So but over in Australia it's a little bit different. If you're not a permanent resident, it costs you a lot more than what it would be, for example, as an international student. So now, obviously, if you're aware, if you do watch my channel, I have applied for my permanent residency. So we're just waiting on that one to come through, and then I can then look into maybe going back to college and doing what I want to do. So that's where I am at the moment with regards to my career options. Right. So I'm just checking where I need to be. As you can see, I have a lot of park threads in this page. Normally what I would do is just go through and work from the top down, just to get those out of the way, but because I'm doing the stitch with me, I'm just doing it slightly different and just working on ones that I know I can get to easily. Especially with trying to watch through a phone screen as well as what I'm doing, and make sure that you can actually see what I'm doing. So obviously let me know guys if it's clear enough for you, and that you can see what I'm doing, or if not, next time I do one, I'll try and get it in a bit closer still, if that's going to help. So yeah, I'm going to say, let me know as well if there's any kind of topics or anything you're interested in that you'd like me to talk about when I do my next stitch with me, because obviously the last one I did was only about 25 minutes long, and everyone who watched it seemed to have enjoyed it, but we're asking for it to be longer. So I'm going to aim at trying to get this one a fair bit more, so maybe we'll aim for an hour. Whether we get an hour or not is something completely different. With the luck I'm having today, possibly not. I keep getting interrupted. So I've already had to go out and rescue my niece because her car broke down at the shops. The battery wouldn't start, so I had to go and jump start her car. And just as I was planning on starting something. So hopefully I won't get any more interruptions so I can get this one done. So if you've watched my latest video, you know that I said I broke the car. So the car was done. I'm having to use borrow the car of someone so we can get it work. Well, my car is no longer fixable. So the onboard computer, the ECU, I think that's what they call it. I'm not a car person, I couldn't tell you. That has gone. So in order to get a new one, it's gonna cost about $1,400. So we don't have that kind of money. So that car has now gone to the scrapyard in the sky. So it's now on the lookout now to see if I can find a cheap enough little run around, or to see if I can get any kind of finance to get a new car. So I'm going to be looking at that this week. So hopefully that I can get some finance, so I can get a decent runaround car that I know is going to last. Well, not runaround car, a decent car that I know is going to last for a while, so I don't have to worry about this kind of thing happening again. But we will see what happens, so stay tuned. There, you may hear the birds going off in the background. It's starting to rain here, so and there is meant to be maybe some storms coming in later on. So the birds are going a bit crazy over here. They generally seem to do that when it starts to rain for some strange reason. So you may be wondering why I wanted to move over to Australia. So I booked a holiday after I'd had my surgery, just to come and like recharge. So I came over to Australia because one of my friends had moved over here, and I came over and it was their winter, but the temperature was like the warmth of the UK summer. And I was like, this is their winter, I can cope with this. So I was like, I really want to move here. So when I got back home, I was like, right, I need to figure out how I'm going to get back over to the UK. Now this was back in 2010. So as you can tell, it took a while for me to get back over here because it was 2018 when I got here, sorry. So now it is definitely different to the UK in the fact that, as I say, the winters are a lot warmer. Still get the odd bit of a cold snap. I mean, the other morning it got down to -2. So those of you who think that Australia doesn't get cold, it does. So we got down to -2 where I live. It's only for like the first thing in the morning. Normally by around about 7 o'clock it warms up again, and it's back up into the 20s. So, but I'm enjoying it. So it's just getting used to their way of things. They are a little bit behind on what they do on some things compared to what I'm used to in the UK. But it's all good. I don't mind. And I've just put that piece in the wrong way. The frogger's gonna call in. I had to do it while I was filming, didn't it? It's generally the case. It's generally the case that you can't thread a needle when you're filming, whereas normally you have no problems at all threading a needle. Now, I don't know how people who do floss tubes and stitch with me's come up with so much ideas of what to talk about to make their videos last so long. So I don't know how they do it. They're obviously just natural talkers. Me, I can talk the hind legs of a donkey once I've had a drink. Maybe I should drink and stitch, but then I'll be doing everything so wrong. Maybe next time I should get a list going of what I want to talk about while I'm doing it. Maybe that would help. But I thought today I'd just try and wing it and see how we go. So far so good, but I'm only like 20 minutes in. Well, we're running out of things to talk about. So I'm just counting, guys, to make sure I've got these all where I need it to be. See if I can get this one finished. Don't you just love trying to play floss chicken? 9 out of 10 the floss wins, but not today. I'm planning on winning. Whether I do or not's a different thing. So I'll just get this marked off. So excuse my arm, I'm sorry, I didn't realise before that my arm actually comes all the way across there when I'm marking my charts off, so I do apologise. Alright, so that's those two done. It does look like a big ball of mess here, but to be fair, even when you're parking, you don't get it doesn't tangle up that much. It's quite easy to get your thread out that you're wanting to use. So thought it might have been a bit more tricky than what it is, but it's not. So all these colours seem to be dark colours today. So, well, in this section anyway, only two can speak. So if we do get a storm today, which I'm hoping we do because I like a good thunderstorm, I will try and get some more footage for you guys so you can see what the storms are like over here. They are pretty cool when they happen. I mean, I'm used to the ones in the UK, and there you get a fair bit of loud banging from the thunder and a little bit of lightning show, but not much of a spectacular one. Over here, the lightning shows are fantastic. Just lights up the whole sky. I'm going to say the one I posted last time was like a disco going off in the sky. It was great. The best one we had, I was over here on holiday back in 2014. And it was New Year's Eve. And we were sat out the back having a drink. We didn't go to any kind of party. There were just a couple of us around there. And it obviously got down to the stroke of midnight, and as soon as it struck midnight, the lightning storm started, which was fantastic. Who needs fireworks when you've got your own lightning storm? It was brilliant. It lasted for a good half an hour, maybe even longer. So sat outside in that while it was absolutely slinging it down with rain, watching the lightning. Luckily I was undercover. So that was brilliant. So you do get some really good storms over here. Definitely worth watching when you get them. So I've always liked storms. I'm one of these people who, if it's in the middle of the night and a thunderstorm starts, I will get up and open the curtains. and sit and watch it. Sad I know, but it's good. So I will sit and watch it for at least 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And then think about going back to bed. I'm going a bit all over the place. I don't normally go around and around the place like this. Normally I just follow, I have my set routine and my pattern, so I'll find out which way the floss goes and work out which is going to be the best route. And I'll work that there, so say I might go from that side to that side and then back again. So kind of like down the lines, or maybe a couple down there and then back over this way. Because I'm trying to multitask, because as all you people will know, blokes can't multitask apparently. So, so I'm trying to work out which way I'm going. So I've got my tablet to one side with the pattern on. Obviously I've got the phone in my face while I'm recording on. And then trying to make sure I get the right places for the floss and another one. So that's 3 tasks in one go. There we go. So blokes can multitask. We may not be able to do it as good as women, but at least we can do it. Sometimes. Not always. So the cats are doing fine. As I say, the kittens have just turned 1. So they've just been having a mod out of hour just before I started filming, so I thought I'd let them get there out of the way. Because you know what they're like, 9 out of 10 I start filming, they start chasing around the house. So not today. I thought I'm going to wait. It's only Sunday here now. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So they've settled down for a bit. They will be up again in about an hour or so wanting feeding. Because they used to being fed at 4:30, which is when I normally get in from work. Because normally they're fed at 4:30 in the morning before I go out to work. So they get fed at 4:30 when I get in. So I've got 2 of them fast asleep on the sofa at the side of me. The other one, which is Tiger and Ginger. And then Kitty, will more likely be outside on the seats out there. She's the only cat I know who prefers to sleep outside in the cold rather than inside in the warm. I say it's raining at the moment, so she'll be getting wet. But she seems to enjoy it for some strange reason. So I've got a message from one of you guys as well with some new, showing me a picture of a new chart, which is a dragon and some kind of little bird. And it's quite nice pattern, so you need to stop enabling me, guys. It's about 3 times now. Someone showed me pictures and I was like, I really need to get that pattern. I'm going to end up with about 6,000 projects and not enough time to stitch them. Especially seeing as, if all the ones that I get shown are all heaven and earth. Which I don't mind, as you say. I like doing my full coverage. But I do need some a little bit smaller, I think. A bit like my Tiger of the Heavens ones, stuff like that. So, as I mentioned in one of my videos, it's tax time over here in Australia. I put my tax return in. So, all being well, it will mean that I can now get a stand. So, I don't have to sit stitching on my knee like how I am doing now. So, I've just got to wait for them to confirm the amount I'm going to get back and when I'm going to get it. So, as soon as I've got that, first thing on my agenda, it will be the stand. How long that will take to get here, who knows? Because as you know, it took over 2 months for me to get my fabric, which came from the UK. I mean, this time the stand will come from Australia, assuming they have any in. So, fingers crossed, it won't take too long. And then I've also been looking at maybe, if I get enough money, getting the fabric as well for a couple more of my charts, so I can get them started. I found a good place to get my floss from, so that shouldn't be a problem now, getting the floss. So, because there's a fair few I would need to get. Don't know if any of you guys have noticed that obviously it's getting harder and harder to find your DMC, mainly because of the everything that's going on for the moment. I mean, a couple of my pieces that I'm working on, I need DMC floss 832, and everywhere I've checked have been out of stock. No one seems to have any, so it's obviously a popular colour for the charts of what people are working on. So some of my pieces may have big gaps in those until I can get some floss, but hopefully the one that I found online carry that number as well, so I can get those. Fingers crossed. And they're pretty cheap as well. I don't know where it is where you guys come from, but over in Australia, things aren't cheap for anything really. Normally a skein of DMC will probably set you back about $2. And this place where I found is only 75 cents. So that will do me. So if they have the colours I need, then I will be ordering a fair few, just so that I can get a lot of my projects fully kitted up or even started. Because they do the floss as well, the fabric. So obviously for my heaven and earth ones, I prefer the Easy Guide. So that's what I'm going to be getting. Let me just mark my chart off. So I don't know if any of you guys have started the pandemic one yet, the freebie one that I mentioned the other week. So if you have, just let me know how it's going. I've still yet to decide on what colour pattern I want to do on those. So hopefully I'm going to maybe think about doing a nice bright coloured floss. I've got to try and remember which ones of these I've done. So yeah, so hopefully I'm going to do a coloured floss, because I don't think, yeah, I don't mind stitching in black, but to be fair, stitching all that in black may take a long, well, it's going to take a long time anyway, but it's going to be a bit boring, I think. So I'm thinking of maybe just mixing it up a little bit and doing different colours. So yeah, so if you are doing the pandemic, then by all means let me know what colours you're doing it in. And if you're on Instagram or anything like that, feel free to send me a picture. There's a fair few people out there. I think there's even a Facebook page for the pandemic cross stitch, and everyone on there showing all their different colours that they're using. Some of them are looking pretty nice. Some of them, well, there's a few people doing them in like silks. Some of them all in different colours of the DMC. So I haven't decided yet what colour I want to go for. The only thing with living in the house that I live in at the moment It's, yeah, over here they don't seem to have like double glazing like they do in the UK. So you hear all the noises. So unfortunately you get to hear motorbikes going past and idiots doing burnouts as they drive around. So I don't know if you can hear the motorbike or whatever it is in the background at the moment. I'm sure it's pretty much the same no matter where you live. Or you get the idiots doing the burnouts, and as soon as they get a little bit of rain, they go out and think they're on some kind of racetrack or on a rally course or something like that. It can get annoying, especially in the middle of the night when you're trying to sleep, and then someone decides that they're going to do a big burnout or a donut or whatever you call them right outside your house. I mean, to say right outside your house, I mean here. I do have there's a fairly big yard. I'm in the middle of a field, might as well say. So there's an acre or so at the front of the house, and there's the house yard, which is obviously ours. So, but even then, them doing it at the front of the field, you can still hear them. You just like to go outside and throw some nails or something on the road and shred the tyres so they don't do it again, but obviously you can't do that, which is a shame. Don't see the need for doing it, because it only means that you've got to buy new tyres every couple of weeks. But obviously these people have got more money than brains and think it's the best thing to do. And obviously guys, as I say, just let me know if the picture on this is okay, if you can see the stitching, or if you need me to try and get in closer next time I do one of these. I'd say it's a learning curve for me, so as I say, I broke my phone tripod last week, and it's the reason I didn't do a stitch with me anything like I said I was going to. I've got the new one, which seems to be okay. It's a bit bigger, so it's a bit easier to get into different positions, if you like, so for filming stuff. I mean, if you can see me at the moment, I've sat here and I don't know if you've ever seen those cross trainers with the handles at the top. So I've got one of those handles with my phone attached to that. I'm propped up in the sofa at the side of me. So you have to do these things. So I think I'm going to have to invest in is one of those overhead arm things that you can just hook onto your windowsill or your table, and then you can have your camera pointing directly overhead. I think that might be a worthy investment moving forward if I'm going to be continuing doing the stitch with me. And any other kind of, I don't know, like tutorials of any kind. So again, if you want to see any other kind of tutorials, I mean, I've done one, I don't know how good you'll find it, on the parking method. But if you do want to see any other kind of tutorials at all, then by all means do let me know, and I'll see what I can do, see how I can work it out. Obviously, if I don't know how to do that method or whatever you're looking for, I'll try and find out how to do it, and then I'll give my version of how it's done. Like I said, my version ain't always a correct version on anything I do. It's just the way I found out to do it, and the easiest way I find it. Again, as everybody else says, there are no stitching police. So you do things how you want to do it. If it works for you, continue doing it. There's no point watching other people and say, oh yeah, I've got to do it like that. If it doesn't work out for you, then what's the point in doing it? You might as well just do it what you're comfortable with and stick with that. So that's my method on things. If it's not broken, why fix it, as they say. So yeah, so if you've got any suggestions on what you want to say talk about on any of these kind of Stitch With Me's, just drop them underneath on this one or any future Stitch With Me ones. It's easier that way rather than trying to go through my normal floss tube ones, trying to find out what people want to talk about. So just drop them underneath on my Stitch With Me ones, and then I can make a list and then go through and do those. I know some people do those tags. I mean, I did one near the start when I first started, which was the get to know your needle worker tag. So if you've got any other kind of tags like that that you want me to go through, again, just drop those down below and I'll find those out and I'll go through and do those. So I don't know if any of you have ordered recently from Heaven and Earth. Obviously they are having an issue at the moment with some of the new colours, which is I think number 9 or number 8 and 9. Now I ordered the wolf one where it's got the castle in the background, and apparently that has that issue with the new colours. Michelle messaged me personally and said that she was working on rectifying the problem, and as soon as she rectifies it, she's gonna let me know so that I can re-download the chart, or they're just gonna tell me what colour to change it, substitute for. So, which I thought was really good. I mean, yeah, everywhere has problems sometimes, so there's no point kicking off with people with regards to it. It's a genuine mistake or genuine error. It's not an error on her behalf. It's either the system that she's using or the colour itself. It's don't have a go at her, guys. If you do know her and you've been ordering stuff from her, she's trying to fix this. As you're aware, there are a fair few charts on the Heaven and Earth site, and she's obviously got to get all those rectified to coincide with these new numbers. So I'm in no hurry. As I say, I've got plenty of projects to keep me going. So as soon as it's done, I'll get my new copy of the pattern and then I'll start stitching on it. So as always, you've just got to be patient. These things will rectify themselves. I mean, I'm a patient person anyway. Obviously, as you can tell, I waited over 2 months to get my fabric from the UK. So I don't mind. I've got things to keep me going. So but yeah, I know a lot of people have been not very happy with her and complaining and kicking off. And I say it's not her fault at all. It's either the software in chart system that she's using, or it's the colours themselves are not how they're meant to be. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it. All I know is that there's a couple of colours wrong, showing up the wrong colour on the charts. So it will be sorted. It's not easy trying to count when you're doing this as well. I'm so used to just knowing exactly where you need to go. And then you stick a camera in your face and you're like, kind of like now. You know what, you haven't got a camera in your face, you're alright, you can talk to anybody. Talk to them about anything, you can keep conversation going for hours. As soon as you put a camera in your face, you get all tongue-tied and you don't know what to say. So. Right, well, let's mark this off, see what we're up to. So we've got a fair bit of this filled in. I say when I've finished, I'll tie off these few loose threads. Normally I try and do the pin stitch, but on 25 count it's a little bit difficult than doing it on the 14. So I can do it, but I don't think I can do it with a phone in my face. So I'm going to do my pin stitching afterwards. I'm going to say not everyone does the pin stitching. Some people just turn it over and run the needle under the back under the last couple of stitches. So it depends on how you guys like to do that. So I'm going to end this one here. So what we're longer than the last one, it's about 45 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. As I say, do let me know if the viewing was good enough for you, if you could see it, or if you need me to try and get in closer next time. Any kind of subjects you want me to talk about, or anything at all. Any tags, anything like that. So yeah. So hopefully you've enjoyed this one, and if I get good enough feedbacks and stuff like that for it, then I will do another one, and I'll try and make it maybe a regular thing, do it once a week, if I've got the time. Hopefully I will have. I said don't work most weekends, so maybe get them filled in the week, well, at weekend, to then post out at some point in the week, so you're not getting bombarded by videos, because obviously I do my normal videos on Saturday. So there we go. So I'm just zooming out so you can see. So yeah, filling it in nicely. So there we go. So that's my super-sized tiger family of the jungles. Can't wait to get to the tigers instead of just doing the background. So hopefully that won't be too long now until I get to those. So as I say, guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think of the stitch with me. Any subjects, or if you need any more like clearer pictures or anything like that, so I can sort it out for next time. So stay safe, guys, happy stitching, and we'll catch you on my next video.